Hey guys, so in this really quick video, we're going to talk about reaction rate and what things need to happen for a reaction to happen. So I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but for molecules or atoms to react with each other, they have to actually touch each other. Like they have to actually collide. And there's a couple of other things that have to happen too. So we're just going to write those down. So we're going to say for particles to react, and when I say particles, I mean atoms or molecules or ions, any small piece of matter. So for particles to react, they must, first of all, they have to collide with each other. And then when they collide, they have to have enough energy. So they have to collide with enough energy to break bonds. And sorry guys, it's early in the morning to be making this video. Okay. And they have to collide at the correct orientation. Okay, so those are the three things that are necessary. So they have to collide. They have to collide with a lot of energy. So basically they have to hit each other hard enough to break bonds. And when I say at the correct orientation, that just means they have to be facing the right direction. So if they're not facing the right direction, they're not going to actually react. So people will make a lot of sports analogies with this. So you might make an analogy, for example, of baseball. So for you to hit a home run, the ball and the bat would have to actually collide, right? If the ball and the bat don't hit each other, you're not making a home run. And they have to collide with enough energy, right? If the ball and the bat don't hit each other hard enough, you're not going to be able to get very far. The ball's not going to go very far. And like you have to be facing the bat or holding the bat in the right direction, in the right way to hit the ball in the right direction. So lots of sports analogies you can make with this. One other definition that you want to know for this section, there's something called activation energy. So activation energy is the energy the reactants need to break bonds so that the reaction can happen. So every reaction has its own activation energy. Okay, now I'm going to show you a couple of things on a graph. So with activation energy, we'll sometimes draw graphs that look kind of like this. And this is basically like time. And over here we have energy. And in this reaction, our reactants, so we're going to label this part reactants. Those are the things on the left side of a reaction. Those are the things you're starting with. They don't start out with very much energy. And in order for a reaction to happen, they have to get this much energy. So this distance right here, this is the activation energy. Okay, and then once that energy is reached, then the reaction can happen. and you can form some products. Okay? So to put activation energy into like your real life, if you imagine that you're camping and you're starting the campfire, the first thing you need to do is make a spark or have a lighter. You need to give the tinder enough energy to start burning. And that is the activation energy. Like lighting a match to start a fire is getting your reactants up to that activation energy so they can start burning and have the reaction. All right, so I just want to show you a couple of things on your assignment to help you out. Okay, guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of help on your assignment. So it's about the things we just talked about. So the first thing you'll need to do is write down the 3 things that are necessary for a reaction to happen. And we talked about those. And then we're talking about a baseball analogy here. So we're saying baseball bat, the baseball bat is reactant A, and the baseball is reactant B. Okay, so remember, for a reaction to happen, the reactants have to collide with enough energy and at the right orientation. So you're going to get some scenarios here, and you have to decide if a reaction or a home run, we're going to compare a reaction to a home run. So you're going to have to decide if a reaction or a home run happened. And then if one did not happen, it will be because of one of these 3 things that was not present. So for example, scenario 1, did a reaction take place between reactant A and reactant B in scenario 1? So let's read scenario 1. The pitcher throws a fastball down the middle of the plate. The batter takes a mighty swing and totally misses the ball. The umpire yells strike 1. So the bat and the ball did not hit each other. So one of the things that's required for a reaction to happen is that the reactants have to collide. So no, a reaction or a home run. So you would say no, a reaction or a home run didn't happen because the reactants didn't hit each other. Okay, and then there's a couple more scenarios. So you have to say whether or not a reaction happened. So remember, for a reaction to happen, you have to have all 3 of these things that you'll write up here. If you have any other questions, let me know. But that's how you do this homework.